Listen, please like, subscribe, and share our YouTube channel.
Give him all my praises, 'cause he died for you and me.
Bringing awareness to domestic violence. You don't want to miss it, so tune in every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. on Facebook. Let's talk.
And that's why I keep praising him, 'cause
Let's talk.
he's so amazing, yes, he's amazing. Give him all my praises, 'cause he died for you and me.
I understand. Listen, please like, subscribe, and share our YouTube channel.
No, I understand. Y'all share the video if you will. Tag some friends, tell them to come on in the house. We're going to do a Mother's Day special tonight. Got a couple of friends that's going to come on with me. Got my cousin Sharon. She's going to come on and minister a song for us. All of us that are coming on tonight, our mother is no longer here with us. So, hey Jackie, hey Latricia. So we just wanted to come on and encourage some folks tonight. Talk a little bit about what it is for us this time of the year, celebrating Mother's Day without our mother. All I can say is, well, one of the things I will say is, if you still have your mother on this side of glory, love up on her. Whatever's wrong, whatever has been said, it doesn't matter anymore. Because I am a witness, and I can truly say, once mama is gone, and yes, I said gone, once mama has left this earth, life would never be the same again. Never, ever be the same. So, whatever you need to do to make it right with your mother, if I were you, I would get on the phone, or I would go to her house, or whatever it takes. And even if mama is a little rebellious about mending things, I would keep pressing the issue and make it right. Y'all know I do not own the rights to this music. I put that in the when I first started live, because I don't want them to tag my video if you can hear this music, because it's definitely not mine. I just love jazz. But if you still got a living mama, you are a blessed somebody. I mean, truly blessed. If your mother is still here, because it is a rough journey when she leaves this earth, and the holidays are the worst, and especially this time of the year. You know, it's this time of the year. I don't even look forward to Mother's Day anymore. I try to still honor her in every way that I can, even on a daily basis. But, you know, Mother's Day is not the same anymore. Hey, Sharon, because my mom is gone. I don't know if my sister's on yet. I see my cousin Sharon is on. So you guys, we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to bring my cousin Sharon in. And hold on, let me see. Sharon, I think I just sent you an invite. Check and see. Wait a minute. Sharon, I just sent you an invite to add you in. Uh, hey, darling.
Hey,
How are you?
good. How are you?
I'm good. No complaints. No complaints whatsoever. Other than it's a little hot.
Good. Oh,
So how you doing?
I'm okay. How about yourself?
I'm good.
I'm good.
You know, this
Good.
time of year for me, it's like, mm, and I know it is for you too.
Yep. Nothing like having us celebrate Mother's Day or honor Mother's Day at a gravesite. That's just,
Oh,
it's weird to think about it that way.
yeah, yeah. Before I let you sing, let's talk about it just for a minute, because the purpose of the show tonight is to try to encourage so many of our friends and family members who have recently lost their mother. Um, Not that the time matters, because mommy is gonna be gone almost 5 years in July, and it still feels like yesterday. And I know Auntie's been gone, what, 11
It'll be
years this
11
year?
years in August. 11 in
Yeah,
August.
yeah. And like I said, the time doesn't matter, because especially if you had mothers like ours, we had good moms. You know,
For
we
sure.
had we had the best of the best in moms. You know, how do you get through it? I mean, tell me from your point, how do you get through this thing of not having mom here anymore, and especially during the holidays, and especially during Mother's Day?
Believe it or not, Mother's Day is not as bad for me as Thanksgiving. Don't ask me why, but I think I feel it more. I don't know what it is about Thanksgiving. It just feels heavier, and I don't know if it's because I am a mother. So sometimes just doing things, having things done for me is a distraction, probably.
Mm-hmm.
But I always remember my first Thanksgiving. Man, I was no good. I was no good. Um, and Mother's Day is hard. Like I said, having to go to a grave to show love to a grave is hard and is weird. And just sometimes having just being your only option is hard to accept. So, but I don't know if it's just time has helped me. And I think also, um, I think I shared it with you one time. I don't feel like I really had the opportunity to grieve because I had to step into daughter mode for my dad because of the way things happened. He needed taken care of, for lack of a better word. So that was another distraction, I think. So I think that's why when that first Thanksgiving did happen, it was reality because he was in a better place physically, and it was just a reality. Like I can't go to her house and dip my finger in the sweet potato pie batter, or just little things like that. I remember being in the middle of J.C. Penney's at the Columbia Mall and just like losing it because it's like that would have been something we would have been doing together.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think you just learn to cope better, but you never really get over it. I remember it was a statement by Bernie Mac's daughter after he passed away, and she says, sweet tea just don't taste quite as sweet no more. It's just
Yes,
different.
I remember that.
Life is
Yeah.
just different. Life is different. It's just, I mean, I don't want anybody to have to endure it, and you probably don't understand it if you haven't endured it. But it's different. Life is just different. Things just look different, feel different, and you just learn to grow and grow past it, and and cherish what you had with him. Keeping that in mind, and I thank God for that all the time, that we were in a good place. So when she left here, I didn't owe her. We weren't mad at each other. We weren't at any type of impasse. We were good. So I could just rely on those
Yeah.
memories and things that we did together. And my mom wasn't just my mom. She later in life became my home girl because we did a lot
Mm-hmm.
together. So
Yeah.
I miss my mama, and I miss my home girl, my shopping partner, my watching the Young and the Restless partner,
Yeah.
and that type thing. So I was glad that I didn't have to feel like I owed her an apology, or didn't love on her enough. I rested in the fact that I knew she loved me, and I believe God that she knew I loved her, and I just have to hold on to that. And it's like I
Yeah.
told our
Yeah.
cousin Maxine who was recently.
Yeah, I agree with every single thing that you said. Um, for me, every single holiday is the worst. But I'm like you. For some reason, Thanksgiving is so painful to get through since mommy died.
Right.
And Sharon, maybe it's because Thanksgiving was that holiday, and we had a lot of holidays. Excuse me, y'all. A lot of holidays that we would gather as a family and spend together as a family. But I think Thanksgiving was that last holiday that we all spent together before Auntie left. That was, if
Right.
I'm remembering it correctly, that
Mm-hmm.
was the last holiday that all of us were together at mommy's house before she transitioned. And Thanksgiving was that holiday that I set aside, that I didn't care where I worked, what I was doing. I took off and I was on the highway headed to something, and I spent Thanksgiving in something, except that very last Thanksgiving before mommy died. 2 weeks before I was supposed to get on the road and go home, I out of the blue, for no particular reason, decided that I'm not going to go down this year. I'm going to stay here, not knowing that that was going to be my last Thanksgiving with her. And she called me all the way until that Friday after Thanksgiving. Beck, you really not coming home? You really not coming? And when she transitioned a few months later, that tore me apart. Like, why didn't you go? Why didn't you give her her Thanksgiving? You know what I mean?
Right.
Because that
Mm-hmm.
was her time of the year. Excuse me. That was the holiday that I set aside to go home, just for her and daddy. And that bothered me for about, it still bothers me some now, but it doesn't eat me up as much anymore, because I don't know why I didn't go home. There was no particular reason that I didn't. I just decided 2 weeks before, told the girls, I'm just going to spend Thanksgiving here with you guys. And that was the last Thanksgiving we had with her. So Thanksgivings for me is like, ugh. And I've been trying so hard for like the last 4 years to make new memories.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like here with the girls and all of this stuff, but it just can't get right.
Yeah, but you know what? With that being said, we owe our children what our mothers gave us. So even though it's like hard, and
Yeah.
it's a task, for lack of a better word, we want them to be able to look back fondly on our memories. I mean, memories with us, like we look on them with our memories of our mothers. So we just, unfortunately, women, black women in particular, have to just suck it up sometime and you know just do. And that's just, I think that's something that we were taught to do by the women of God that raised us, and that we were blessed to call mom.
Yeah,
So
that
yeah, but
I agree with
we
that.
own that. Oh,
We
I'm
do,
sorry. I
we
don't know what
do, and
happened.
I'm getting better at it.
Hold on, Beck. I can't hear you anymore. I
We
think it's my phone
okay,
though.
okay. Um, so guys, give us a second. Sharon got a little technical difficulties going on. But for those of you that are just coming in, tonight is the show is about it's a Mother's Day special, and I got a few very close, well, not friends, family members. Um, this is my cousin Sharon. I got my sister coming on, and I got one of my best friend's sister friend coming on later on, and all of us had lost our mother. And we just, I thought tonight, because Mother's Day is Sunday, would be a good night to come on and talk about what it is for us getting through Mother's Day without our mother and so many of our friends and our family members. We just had a cousin that lost her mom. I think they buried her like 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. So, this is like their first Mother's Day without their mother. So I just thought it would be good for us to come on and just kind of talk about what it is for us and how we get through it, and to encourage each other and love up on each other, and to let those people know that this is your first year, second year, lost your mom, that you're not alone. We here, we understand, you know. Um, Because it's a rough journey, right, Sharon?
Yeah, I'm my for some reason I can't hear you as well anymore, but I think it was my phone because I got a phone call in the middle, so I'm trying to fix it. Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you fine.
Yeah, I can
Yeah,
barely
I
hear
can hear
you,
you.
and I don't know why.
You want me to exit
Hmm.
you out and then bring you right back in?
Let's see if that fixes it. Want to try that?
Okay, I'm gonna exit you out. Yeah, I'll exit you out and bring you right back in. All right, guys, I'm gonna bring Sharon right back in. And okay, if I can find her now, there she is. Okay, Sharon, it's saying the invite is already sent. I don't. Okay, Sharon, send me an invite to add you. Send me an invitation. Send me an invite to add you in. Um, Melody, Vet, Myra. Um, I, I'm praying for you guys this weekend as well.
Okay, we're good.
Can you hear me? Okay. All right.
Yeah, we're good. It's back to the same now.
Okay. Yeah, but it's a rough journey, and we've got so many of our friends on tonight, Sharon, who've lost their mother. We got Melody on here. This is her first Mother's Day without Aunt Blanche, and she was gonna come on with me tonight, but she's had a really, really, really rough day, and I know this week is probably gonna be a rough week for her. But she is on here. Mel, we love you. We're praying for you. If you need me, call me, text me, whatever, because we understand. Myra and Bet, and um, I don't know who else is on here right now who has lost their mother. But if your mother is no longer here, May, I see May on here. May, I love you. We're praying for you. But if I haven't called your name and your mom is no longer here, just send me a message and say, tell me something. Just let me know that your mom is no longer here. We need to be praying for you as well. My brother Bobby was on here. I think he's still on here. Um, so we totally understand. We totally, totally get it. Um, so, Sharon, I want you to sing something for us. Minister to our spirit, whatever the Lord put on your heart.
Okay, you know I hate singing publicly, Rebecca, but I'll do it for you.
I know.
And
Yes,
as
ma'am.
unto
Hold
the
on a
Lord.
second.
Okay.
Jackie, text Angie and tell Angie to hop on. So, brother, text Angie and tell Angie to hop on. I don't know if she's on here yet because I'm going to bring her on next after Sharon sings. Okay, Sharon, floor is all yours.
Well, I mean, I just kind of want to just remind everybody that I know it's hard. I know it personally, but that God is reliable, and that's what we need to just put our focus and our strength on. Um, the reliability of God. And for me, I always tell myself to kind of boost myself up a little bit. If my mom couldn't be here with me on earth, I'm so glad she's in the arms of Jesus. So I just think about that.
Yes. Yes.
You are God, faithful to me. My present help when I'm in need. When troubles rise, you are my peace. And no one else can save me. I can call on you to always rescue me. Reliable God, dependable God, I can trust you. My strength comes from you. My hope is in you. I can trust you. Reliable God. You are, oh God. For every battle you fought for me, I have the victory. And when darkness comes, it's your light I see. And whatever life brings, you are with me, yes you are. And no one else can me. I want you to always rescue me. Reliable God, dependable God, I can trust you. My strength comes from you. My hope is in you. I can trust you. Reliable God. You are, oh God.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. That bless-
Lord. Thank you, Jesus.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful song.
Thank you, Lord.
I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Always. Always.
Always
So
reliable.
we'll touch bases between now and Mother's Day.
Of course.
Yeah.
All right. Love
Love
you.
you.
I love
Bless
everybody.
you.
Y'all have a great, great evening. But I'll be listening. I'm still on. I'm just coming off camera.
Okay. All right.
All right, man.
Ah. That's I don't see my sister Angie on here yet. She might have forgot she was supposed to be coming live. But before I bring Rhonda in, Myra, you want to come on for a minute and encourage the folks um, that have lost their mother through this season? Thank you, Sharon. That blessed me. It really did. Reliable God. Myra, you want to come in for a minute? Okay. Send me an invite, Myra, and I'll bring you in. I'm going to bring my sister Myra, in for a little bit. She too has lost her mother. Um, I think this year for Myra and Vet is 11 years as well, if I'm not mistaken, that they lost mother. Um, so Myra's going to come in. So Bretta, text Angie. Maybe she forgot she's supposed to come in for a minute. Hey, sis.
Hey, good evening, everybody. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Just a little tired. School
I
is
am
kicking
too.
me this semester, but it's almost over.
Happy
I almost see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Happy Teachers Appreciation Week,
Yay! Thank you. So far, it's been a good week.
Miss
So far, it's been a good
Miss
week.
Educator.
It's my
We appreciate
occupation.
you.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you. It takes a village, though.
Appreciate
It
you.
takes a village. Okay,
Yeah,
give
it
me a
does.
remote.
Really, really does.
remote. Yeah.
I
Can
just
you hear me
wanted to
well?
do a special tonight. I can hear you fine. Can you hear me?
Okay. I can.
Yeah, I can hear you. I
Okay.
I just wanted to do a special tonight where we could honor our mothers and just talk a little bit about how we get through this time of the year. Because for me, the holidays are the worst. You know what I mean? And when mommy passed in 16, I leaned on you and Vet a lot. Um, a lot. Especially you, because I called you many day, boo-hoo crying,
Lean on each
falling
other,
apart.
sis.
Yeah, yeah.
Lean on
So,
each other.
um, how do you get through this time of year?
I used to thought it was one day at a time. Even 11 years later, it's still 1 second at a time.
Yeah,
Um, you don't ever get over it. It becomes a little more bearable. Um, the pain, the pain never eases. It never eases. You tolerate it more, but it never eases. I can't tell anybody to go away. If you find that pill, let me know. But just to encourage you guys, and I was sharing in the message because Sharon made a great point when she was saying about Mother's Day or Thanksgiving was a little bit harder than Mother's Day, and I totally
mm-hmm.
agree because as African Americans, we love Thanksgiving. That's the time that we gather at mom's and traditions are being made and all the family is gathering. And those are the time. And that too was my toughest time when my dad died because him and mom died like back to back, 1 year after the other. I could not stand the fall of the year. I mean, almost to the point that I'm like, I hated it when the leaves started turning colors. Thanksgiving used to be my favorite time of the year. I didn't want to
Yeah,
embrace the holidays. And I had to do a reality check that, hey, this is God's world. This is his season. Or do you resent what God has already, created? So I had
yeah,
to do a spiritual check. and get myself in check. And as far as Mother's Day is concerned, for many years, my sisters and I, we would be sad. We call each other, we cry and trying to encourage each other, remembering our mother, remembering the things that we did with her, and she's no longer with us, and our hearts are bleeding and breaking. And our kids are looking at us like, what's going on? We don't
Yeah.
know whether to give my mama a gift or give her a hug. So
Yeah.
I had to tell them, guys, we are mothers. What are we doing to our children? We
Yeah.
are mothers. I know we're hurting, but we can remember our mother, commemorate her memories, honor her memories, but yet we have to live for our
Yeah.
children,
Yeah.
and that's when the light went on, and we began to try to celebrate being mothers. We still miss our mom. Matter of fact, I gotta do choir rehearsal Saturday morning, and right after choir rehearsal, I'm riding down to Sumter to put some flowers on my mom's grave. Rebecca, you opened up really well. Cherish your mom, guys, while she is yet here. There is no excuse or no reason to not be talking to your mother. The Bible
That's right.
says the only commandment that comes with the promise to honor your mother and your father. So, regardless, I always say they've been here longer than us, so they got the right to be whatever it is that they want to be. Let God deal with them, but you honor your mother and your father while they're here. When they're
Exactly.
gone, nothing you can do in the grave, no post you can put on Facebook, nothing you can buy that's going to bring them back. You know, it's okay to say, I'm sorry. It's okay to say, Mama, I love you. All the hugs, give them. You cannot love them enough. I'm trying to tell you, you cannot love them enough.
That's right. Even if
You
even if
always
you
say,
know, even if you know in all hearts of heart that mama was wrong and what mama said hurt my feelings and you know um because we as mothers, and I'm learning this even more being a mother and a grandmother, I find myself doing and saying a lot of things that my mama used to do and say, and things, I find myself saying things that hurt my daughter's feelings because I'm mama.
absolutely.
You know what I mean?
I'll tell mine in a minute.
Because
Don't let the Romel come out of me.
see, you know what I mean? And it's like, and I'm like, oh my God, mommy used to say things where she would get mad, or we did, or I did something I hadn't been doing that just would completely crush my little feelings. You know what I mean?
And
Um,
Yvette talk about that all the time.
yeah, and
Like,
and
Betty, it
now
was
I
always me and
find
you.
myself doing the same
Saying and doing
thing
the same
to
thing.
my daughters, and I'm like, wow, this is okay, Rebecca. So I have to remind my daughters all the time. I'm human. I mess up. I say things that to y'all I ain't got no business saying, and I probably done said some stuff when y'all were grown up that hurt your feelings. But I'm still mama.
That's right. That's right.
You know,
Unfortunately,
I ain't.
parenting don't come with a handbook.
It really don't.
Doesn't
It
come with a
it it
handbook.
really really
So,
doesn't, and it's like it is mind blowing now. That being now that I'm a mother and a grandmother, so it's like wow. So this is how that mother thing goes. You know what I mean?
and and we still haven't perfected it yet. We still
Nope.
make mistakes along the way. And I know Tashira would tell me all the time that, Mama, it wasn't until I became a mother till I now understand your sacrifices. I now understand the things that you've been trying to tell us. And I really appreciate you. And that means a lot. That
Yeah.
means a lot. So as
Yeah.
mothers, we do make many sacrifices. And I always would tell myself, and you know, when I had eyes but I couldn't see, I had legs but I couldn't walk. My mom and my dad, they were my eyes. They were my legs.
Yeah.
They were my voice. So
Yeah.
they took care of me when I couldn't take care of myself. So if for that reason alone, I owed it to them. I owed it to them.
That's right.
And I, um, like Sharon, when my mom and dad passed away, we were on great terms. I never had regrets or said, I wish I'd done this, or I wish I did that, I wish I had more time, or I wish I could have done this. My mouth was slick now. I always
Mm-hmm.
had a little slick mouth. I still got a little slick mouth right now.
Uh-huh.
but but as I grew in God, I knew that I had to tone this little pink tornado down a little bit. And I
Yeah.
did. So, there were times when I would go on vacation, I take my mom and my daddy with me, and I enjoyed it. We created this thing in Sumter, as we call it, the Sunday dinner.
Mm-hmm.
The Sunday dinner. Every Sunday, my mother and I had dinner together, whether it was at my house, Coretta's house, wherever it was. We had Sunday dinner together, and we look forward to that. So I had time with them. I spent time with them. There was never a day that I did not talk to my mom or my dad on the phone. I rode by their house. So yes, I miss doing those things even to this day. Matter of fact, the other week I was thinking about, you get something on and you're like, hey, I want to tell my mom, I want to share my mom. Still to this day, I get
Yeah.
those thoughts, you know, and I'll be like, okay, how you gonna tell her? She's not here anymore. So, like I say, it's a second by second healing process. So I say to
It really,
everybody
really
who will be
is. I was
celebrating,
telling my daughter,
it is.
yeah, I was telling my daughter last week, I said, I think I'm going to fly down to South Carolina next week for Mother's Day and
Mhm.
just hang out for a couple of days and, hang out with my sisters and probably go to mommy's grave. And KK looked at me. She was like, how you going to leave for Mother's Day? Um, you have daughters. We're your mama. And that kind of struck something in me because they say to me all the
Mhm.
time, Mother's Day come around, Ma, what you want from us? And I'm like, and
Right.
they like, Ma, we understand you miss grandma, but you our mother. And we gotta celebrate for Mother's Day. And I think when KK said to me the other day what she said, that kind of like, I was like, okay, Rebecca, just like you needed to celebrate your mother. Because see, I took pride and honor in celebrating Mama Mother's Day and buying her those two or
Mhm.
three outfits and either buying her
Of
outfit
course.
for Mother's Day and her jewelry and
Dresses,
going out there and fixing
some
her. I took
hats.
pride in that stuff. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
I'm like,
I
okay,
know.
I can't take that away from them. I got to give them that same opportunity. But this has been the first year since I think 2017 that I even thought about going home for Mother's Day.
Wow. Initially, the first few years, it was hard. And for those who will be going through the first everything, the first is hard. Your first birthday without your mom, her first birthday, the first Easter, the first Mother's Day, the first Christmas, the first everything is going to be hard. I know for a
Gonna be
while, Mother's
rough.
Day, yeah, I wouldn't even go in the stores. I would not. It's, it's like I was angry looking at people shopping for their mom, and my mama
Yeah,
wasn't here. You know,
that's where I am.
yeah, I was that first couple of years. It was rough. It was rough. And then I looked like, you don't even appreciate your mama, and your mama's still here. And I love my mama. Why God had to take my mom? You know,
Hmm.
and and all those thoughts. And because I'm human. I'm human. I'm
Yeah,
human. I didn't love the Lord no
absolutely.
less. I didn't serve him no
That's
less.
right.
I was human and I had those human emotions and they came out. But I knew how to bring myself back. You know,
Yeah,
God didn't take her because he didn't love us or he wanted to break our heart. He took her because it was her time. She belonged to him
it was her
anyway.
time.
He
Yeah,
really loaned her to us. And
yeah.
she got guys, they're celebrating the first Mother's Day. There is nothing really I can tell you that's going to make it easier because you're going to have to go through the first. If you have sisters, brothers here, you all are experiencing the same loss. It might be in different ways, but you guys lost the same thing. Love up on each other, call each other, talk to each other, comfort each other. You will find, trust me, more comfort in talking to one another than you would in anybody else because
Yeah.
you guys lost the same thing. So that's the
Yeah.
only advice I can give you this first year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's true. That's
yeah.
very true.
Mhm.
Yeah. But
So
we're gonna all get through it together. We're gonna lift each other
we
up
are,
and pray for each other and love upon each
we
other. We just
are,
gonna get through
and
it.
we are, and
It's a
I am
second
here.
by
If you,
second thing.
yep, it is. I'm here. I am here to talk, to text, to cry. I was telling
Yeah.
Melody today because losing Aunt Blanche almost to me was like losing another mother.
Right.
That's how I felt about her. We had special bond,
Yeah.
a special bond. So I know her pain. I feel it. And I told her, even if we just get on the phone and cry together, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here. And sometimes
And sometimes that's what it
ain't nothing
takes.
wrong with a good cry. A snotty nose
Nothing
cry,
at all.
ain't nothing wrong with a good cry. I used to get in the shower
Listen.
and because I tried to hide from the kids. I didn't want them to see me cry. So I go in the shower and I just let it out. Ain't nothing wrong with a good cry. Nothing's
Girl,
wrong
I
with a
think
good cry.
I think I blew you and round the phone up so much.
We cried together.
Girl,
We
that was
cried
many nights.
together.
I just sit in here and I just broke down or either I sit on the side of the bed and it was horrible.
Oh,
I've learned how to push forward even in the brokenness, you know,
oh yeah.
because that's what she would
Oh
want. She would not want us to ball up, crumble, and die.
no, no, and we are here, Rebecca. As bad as our experience was, we're here to help others come through. You know,
Yeah,
I want somebody to
absolutely.
be able to look at me and say, God, I know the bond that she and her mom had. If God did it for her, He can do it for me. That's what I
That's
want to
right.
be. I want to be an example to somebody to say, and because
That's
I
right.
used to look at Keith, the little Keith Walker.
Mhm.
I used to
Mhm.
look at him, and that's where I drew my strength. I would say, he's just a baby. He lost his mom and his dad, and I see him
Yeah.
still living, still serving God. I say, if God can do it for that baby, I know He can do it for me. And that's
That's
who
right.
I would draw my strength from. So, wherever you can pull your strength, guys, tap into it. It's
That's
so
right.
easy because Misery Love Company. It's easy to throw a pity party. People will join you. People will join you in your pity party. You want somebody to lift you up. You want somebody to encourage you. So find those
That's right.
people. Find those people.
That's right.
So
That's right. Well, sis, I thank you. I got one more guest to come on.
thank you. It just so happened I didn't have Bible study tonight, and I just tapped into you. And I'm so glad I didn't know you were doing this segment. See how
See?
God is intentional. God is intentional.
Yeah,
And I tell
absolutely.
everybody He's intentional.
You
I
were supposed
enjoyed
to be on here
sharing.
tonight.
Yep. I enjoyed you. You keep doing what you're doing. I'm proud of you.
Thank you,
You're
sis.
right here. You're right here. You're right here, sis. Remember that?
In the heart. Thank you.
Yeah, right here. Nobody know but me, you, and that what I'm talking about. But you
Nobody
right here.
know.
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. And guys, have a blessed Mother's Day to all of you mothers out there. And enjoy your Mother's Day. Get spoiled by your kids. Let them spoil you. Let them spoil you. You
That's
deserve
right.
it. Hats
I'm
off
gonna
to
let
you. And
mine
thanks,
buy me whatever they want.
honey. I've been to. They keep saying, "Mama, what you want? No, what you want to have? What you want me to have?" Cause see, I might be going cheap. I might be cutting
I done
myself
done
out
that
some good
going
gifts.
cheap thing. I ain't going cheap no more. Yeah, I'm a
Yep.
I'm gonna hit them all up this week.
Oh, Angie's on, so Angie's ready. I see what Brett saying. Angie's ready. So I'm gonna get off
Okay.
because Angie gonna talk till 10 o'clock tonight.
No. I'm gonna have to put her on a timer.
Angie gonna talk to Angie. I love you.
Cause
But
you
go
know
and
how
get us.
she
Yeah,
I told her she got her mama gift of gas. Cause you know Hella Goodman could talk for hours. Girl, I would walk in mommy's house 6 in the morning, her and Auntie Blanche on the phone talking. Well, who is
on the
y'all
phone.
what y'all talking about this time of morning? She
Yes.
got that Helen Goodman thing, honey.
Yeah.
But sis, I love you. I hit you up between
Come
now
on,
and
she can
Mother's
hear
Day.
us. I love you. I love you. You gotta, do I sign me off or do you sign me off?
I'm going to sign you off. Love you, babe.
Awesome sauce.
All right, Angie. My sister is here. Y'all, we're gonna keep it pushing. My sister Angie is here. Angie, send me an invite to bring you in. Then we're gonna bring Angie in, and then we got Rhonda gonna come in for a few, and we're gonna let her talk to you and sing a little bit for you. By the time you come on, Angela,
I'm
Angela, turn
here.
your volume on.
What?
I just want you to know I'm putting you on a timer
I'm
because
here.
you know you can talk like your mama. So I'm gonna put you on a timer. Angela, can you hear me? What is she doing on that phone?
Yes, I hear you. I got you on my laptop and the phone. I was trying to get on just the laptop.
You
I
can't
don't know
you
how.
can't be on both of them at the same time, hunting.
I was trying to get on one.
You gotta come out of
I'm
one of
on the
them.
phone. I'm out of the laptop.
Have mercy, trying to be all
Anyway.
professional and fancy. Girl, Lord. For you
I
guys
had my
that don't know,
headset
and I
on
think
the
most of y'all
laptop.
do know, this is my biological sister. My daddy
Yep.
called her Angela, and that's what I called her. This is Angela. Now,
That's
y'all, she
right.
talks a lot, so I'm gonna have to put her on the
And I
timer
heard the
because
little
if I don't,
comment
she'll
you
be here
was
at
not
10 o'clock.
mad
But we're
about
not.
it too.
Say what?
I heard what you and Myra said about me. You go get y'all for that.
It's the truth, though. You know
I'm the
you talk like your
I'm the
mama.
quiet one.
Ooh. So it's Mother's Day week,
Yeah.
and our mama is gone.
Yep. It doesn't get any
How do
easier.
you get through? No, it doesn't.
Mm-mm.
It
I
really
was
doesn't.
I was sharing with our cousin today and yesterday, Maxine, um, starting to hit her kind of hard because she just buried Evelina, her mom,
Yeah.
and I was letting her know, Mother's Day is going to be a different experience. So whatever you do, do it with your sisters. So I told her make sure they stick together, and whatever they do on Mother's Day, do it together as a family because they're going to need each other. It's really hard, Mother's Day without mom. Even sitting up in church, still looking at the seat she used to sit in. It still does something to me. I don't shop Mother's Day no more. Um, but this year is a little bit different because what I started doing after Mama died is I would cook Mother's Day dinner. I started out first with my girls because I wanted them to have all good experiences and not have to have any regrets later on when I decided to go home to be with the Lord a long, long, long time from here. And I wanted them to have great, fond memories of Mother's Day. So I started cooking dinner for them on Mother's Day. And then this year, I actually bought gifts for everybody and for the sisters. I'm not sending you yours. You're going to have to come with something.
Look
So
here.
whenever
The
you
mail
come to
service
something,
still
and
work,
I'm
you
not
know.
mailing, no ma'am. But it's just now, Mother's Day now takes on a new meaning. I heard y'all talking about when you have children, then you have to remember to give them the opportunity to celebrate with you. And I try to do that. But for me, Mother's Day is it's like I'm pushing and muscling through or almost like making myself just be happy on Mother's Day.
Yeah.
So Mama
Yeah.
used to love Mother's Day,
Mama used to love
and
all
it's
holidays.
hard. Yeah, but it's hard because I just see her face smiling and the dinners and the things that we used to do. So I just still see her smiling and enjoying it. But it's kind of difficult. But this year is going to be, I think, a greater celebration because this is the first time since Mama went home that we all have a relationship together. So
Yeah.
it's like this year I don't feel like I'm by myself. I don't feel like it's just my mama. So we
Yeah.
can, you won't be here with us, but you'll be on the phone. But it's still a difference this year because it's like now we all really have each other, and it makes it better to go through. Not easier, but better. You know, um,
Yeah. Even though I won't
my
be
heart
down
goes.
there, I don't
Yeah,
know. I still might pop up. The weekend over yet. I still haven't decided if I'm going to fly in or not. Um, the only hesitation that I've had is KK was like, "Mommy, well, you are mommy, and we want to spend Mother's Day with you." You know what I mean?
and she's right.
Um, because Mother's Day has been kind of real. I'm not gonna say kind of. It's been I haven't had the energy to really. I don't even. I really have not even been going shopping for Mother's Day since Mommy passed because that was the time that I go shopping and I dress her for Mother's Day. So
Yeah,
now it's like, what am I going shopping for?
yeah.
She's not here. So I don't think I've gone shopping for Mother's Day probably in about 4 years. But
I still tell my kids what I want, and I get my Mother's Day gift, and it's a requirement, and it's good. But it's a blessing because I'm able to be here with my children. But it's still hard because I still find myself wanting to tell my kids, don't forget Mama's card, because they would always buy gifts and give her a card too. I find myself reminding myself that they don't have to buy her a card. And every year I have to remind myself not tell them to get a card because I'm finding myself on the verge of telling Nisha, don't forget Mama's card, but she's not here. So um, I heard y'all talking about the first Mother's Day, the first of all holidays, the first of everything. It is the most difficult, but it doesn't get any easier. I was telling Maxine, I wish I could tell you that it's going to get better and it's going to get easy to get through things without her. But I'll be lying. Um, I believe we learn to accept what God has allowed, and then knowing that our mothers are in glory and they're not, they wouldn't come back here, not even for us, and they're where we want to go. It makes it, it makes me remember to live my life in a way to make her proud. If Mama was here, would she be proud of this? So now I find myself talking to her all the time and thinking about her and looking at her picture on the blanket, things like that. And Mama, I hope you're proud of me, things like that. So it's kind of like a two-way sword. You live your life to make them proud, but then you have to remember you can't go to the house and share it with, you know. So it makes a difficult time.
everything I do now, I mean, I kid you not, I always was conscious about not wanting to embarrass her.
Yeah,
I've always been conscious of that. But since she passed away, every single thing I do, I don't care how big, how small, I'm like, I wonder if is she proud?
yeah,
Because I have this thing now that, I got to represent Helen Goodman in the right way, and I gotta make her proud.
right,
So it's like, I don't want to do anything that would embarrass her because we're Helen
yeah,
Goodman's children.
yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean? And if
yeah,
you're from some of the surrounding areas, you know what that means. We're Helen Goodman's
yeah,
children. But I have a desire now more than ever to make her proud. in
Yeah.
every single thing that I do.
Everything. That's it. Yeah.
I often ask some of my friends, you think mommy is okay? You think mommy's if she was here, and they're like, girl, come on, your mama is so proud. But I'm like, ma, are you? Is this good? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, God, I wonder if she would. And then at times where I can sit and I can literally hear the conversations with
Mm-hmm.
her,
Because it
with
didn't take much
with
for mama. As long as her kids were happy, as
yeah.
long as we were happy, she was happy. And as long as we were getting along with each other, she was happy.
Now she
So
would
it
be
didn't take
happy
much.
go lucky now.
Yeah, she loved the gifts and all that, yes, but she just wanted us together and wanted her kids to be happy, and that made her. That's all she wanted,
Yeah.
So, and I think that brings me joy and easier to deal with because I don't sit on Mother's Day and just cry. I'm not there anymore. I don't sit and just cry and sit in that place of sadness. Although I do have moments of sadness, I don't sit there in that place of sadness and just think about her not being here. I spend a lot of my days thinking about and remembering the times that we shared, the conversations that we had, the things that we laughed about. How Sean used to pick her up and put her up in the truck, and we would go out to eat or go to Myrtle Beach or someplace, and just different things, and how she just used to love to ride and love to go eat and love to talk to
And
everybody
love
she
Tony's
knew.
pizza.
Yes, yes. So
Lord
I
have
used to
mercy.
just think about that and how she just enjoyed. I tell everybody, when my mama went home to be with the Lord, the world owed her nothing. She
Nothing at all.
enjoyed her life.
I was telling
Mhm.
a friend of mine last week. Actually, we was talking about mommy, and I got a little emotional in the office. But I looked at her and I said, you know what? My mother lived when she lived. I
Yeah,
said my mother done been to Cancun so many times, and not Cancun. She done been to Canada so many times. She left dad at home and went on
the daddy
cruises
didn't
in
go.
Jamaica and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. He like, I ain't getting nothing about
Mexico,
it.
she's been
She's
all
okay.
over.
I'll see you when I get back.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
Helen done traveled.
one time she had to cruise to I think it was Mexico, and because she used to cruise all the time. So one of those cruises she
Mm-hmm.
had asked me to go with because Robert don't want to go. He's scared, and I said well, I'm like my dad. I can't drink all that water, so I'm not getting on no boat. Oh, you just stupid. I get somebody to go with me. I think and she ended up taking. I want to say I know one year she took Rabbit, Auntie Pat, and Corley. And
Mm-hmm.
they had a blast. I mean, I saw the pictures. I was like, man, I want to go. And Mama ain't never asked me to go again after that one time I told her I wasn't drinking all that water. She told me from now on, you just stay here with your daddy because you're scared. And
Yeah,
she
cause she
just
can.
enjoyed life. And
Yeah.
I didn't even realize watching her live her life that she was setting that example. That's
Yeah.
really what God wanted. God wanted us to enjoy our lives to the fullest. And she
Yeah.
did that, and so when I think about her life now, although I miss her so much, I think about her and it makes me feel good because I know she enjoyed her life. And now that when Daddy was here, I would cook things that I know Mama liked and sometimes end up fixing a plate for her or taking out a plate for her. But after Daddy gone, I'm like, we changed a lot of our menu and changed the menu around a lot. So a lot of times I don't even cook stuff that she used to like. And I haven't cooked salmon and rice since Daddy passed because that was something that both of them used to like. And certain
Mm-hmm.
things I don't cook because I don't want to break down thinking about she's not here because
Okay, we lost Angie for a minute, guys. We lost her. Um, but uh, I want to give it a second and see if she's gonna come back in. I'm finish up with her. Um, I got one more sister friend coming in. Um, y'all, we still doing good time. But I hope tonight's show is encouraging somebody. I hope it's helping those of you whose mothers are no longer here, that is the purpose of tonight's show, to encourage each other, to let you guys know you're not alone. Um, there's a lot of us who our mother has gone on. And Angie, come back in for a second, and let's finish up, and then I'm going to bring Rhonda in. Oh my God, Angie Lamb said your timer ran out. my niece, my niece is telling my sister her timer went out. Lamb. Oh God, my niece is hilarious. You might be right, Lamb.
You know what? You're wrong for that, Lamb.
Lamb said your timer ran out.
And I thought she was telling the truth. I'm like, oh, okay. Then I realized what she was saying. I got you. I don't know what happened, Lamb. It just stopped. Rebecca talked so much. I don't know why my time went out.
That is funny. That made my night. Yeah, but yeah, it's a rough journey. It's a rough journey. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, after almost 5 years later, I'm kind of like starting to ease back into what we knew as, I guess, as the norm.
Mhm.
So I'm starting to try to create new memories and all that stuff during the holidays.
Yeah.
I got mama's picture all across this house. I got the blanket, and I bought the girls their pillows, and I got daddy's blanket with his picture on it. So it's like, every day I'm like in my face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm trying to get back to some sense of normalcy, because now it's really, really, really difficult because we don't have daddy.
Right.
So
But
it's a difficult journey.
I think that the good thing about that is, and this is for families who are experiencing the loss of their parent or their mother for the first Mother's Day, and even beyond that, it's good when you can stick together. And if you don't have siblings,
Yeah.
that you can stick together, find, like Myra said, and you and Myra were saying before, find friends that will cover you and hold you and be there for you, encourage you, give you comforting words that you can cry with, that you can laugh with, talk about your mother and things that made you laugh. Don't just, I
Yeah.
told Maxine, don't dwell on the day she passed. Celebrate the life she lived. If all you think about is the day you lost them, then you're going to stay stuck in a place of sadness and tears, and it can become overwhelming. But if we celebrate the life that they lived, and I always say, talk about them, keep them involved in your life, share your memories about them, and talk about your mama and your loved ones. Not talk to them like they're here, but talk about them in your everyday life. Talk about them to your children and your grandchildren. Keep their memory alive, because that also gives us strength to be able to keep going. That's why you find yourself now, Rebecca, able to say, I'm getting into a place of what was normal. So you find your life coming back together, although those pieces are still missing. But you got to look at what we don't have, and then look at what we do have, and having each other and just knowing that made mama happier than anything
Yeah.
else. That right there was worth more than money for her.
Oh yes.
So when I think about that, and I'm like, boy, if mama was here, or if mama could be here right now, she would be tickled pink. But she would love, um love everything now. So the life that we live now, we have to remember to keep their memories alive and do the things that would make her proud, you know. And I know she's proud of you, you know. I believe she's proud of all of us, and because we're all doing, you know, and we're doing it together. Coming together is key for for any family to get through, you know, the grieving period. And the grieving
Yeah,
period really doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. There's no time limit on how
it
long you
really
grieve.
doesn't. Yeah,
Mm-mm. And
it
I
really,
never
I was talking to
understood
my
that.
godmother today.
Mm.
I was talking to my godmother today, and it's like every time I get on the phone with her, she talks about mommy.
Yeah.
So she was like, Veta told me you and your sister them on this, what y'all on the radio? And I said, yes, ma'am. And she said, man, I know Helen proud of y'all. And then she went to talk. I told her about
It
the
sounds just
Warrior
like
She
it.
Talk show. And she was like, she had me on the phone crying and laughing. And she was like, yeah, baby. I know Helen proud. Helen the Robert up there. And she went on and on. And I love calling to talk to her because she tickles me so. But there's not a conversation she and I have that she does not talk about mommy.
Right. Right.
She's, I know Helen gone now, but baby, you got me. And I said, yes, ma'am. You've always been my other mama. But she makes it her business to always, in our conversation, bring up mommy and talk about something mommy said or mommy did. You
Yeah. I see
know,
you, Sabrina.
and
You know, Sabrina, you're right. And the older we get, I think I see mama in each one of us individually. Sometimes I see facial expressions and Rabbit walk around here in moo looking like mama. And sometimes I be like, boy, that was mama right there. You know,
yeah,
so
Rabbit look a lot.
yeah,
Yeah, Mama Rabbit look a lot. Rabbit looking. Oh Lord, Jesus, Rabbit starting to look. Rabbit looking
yeah.
like all of them to me. Rabbit looks starting to look like grandma, auntie, mommy.
A little bit of mom's Mabley, everybody.
I'm gonna need
Mm.
you. You're not gonna do my sister
She hear me.
now because Mom's Mabley was cute, but what you not gonna do is my sister. Hey,
Mom's
sister.
Mabley is not cute, but anyhow.
Mom's Mabley was cute. I've seen some pictures of Mom's Mabley. You're not gonna do Mom's Mabley, okay?
Mm, okay then. Well,
Now,
everybody, just
thank you.
find the laughter in your daily life. I used to watch Sharon after Auntie passed, and I used to
I
say
did too.
that's a feeling I never want to have. But I didn't see her breakdown moment, but I saw her strengths. Because every time I saw her, she was either singing or she was doing something, and I just saw her continuing to live. Not that she had a choice, but I saw that, and and she made it look as if it wasn't that hard because she had that inner strength showed, and she kept going. And I often would think, I don't know if I could keep doing that if that was my mama. And then when mama passed, I was like, now I know what she was doing. And then it made sense to me how you have to find the strength to live and to keep going even after your rock is gone. So I started seeing it then, and I felt like, okay, I understand now. And then when it happened with Myron, the same thing. And I saw the strength. And I was like, wow, how can they keep going? But I saw them holding each other up, you know, and they got them
Yeah,
through. So I'm glad
yeah,
to be in a place now where we have each other to hold each other up and to say we can talk about mama and share the love and memory of her through each other and with each other. So it's just different this year, right now anyway, than it has been since 16, you know, and I'm looking forward to, believe it or not, I'm looking forward to Sunday because I know if I'm not counting on you coming home, but no telling with you, but I'm looking forward to setting the tables up and having and cooking dinner and serving my sisters and my daughters for Mother's Day because I want to just celebrate us. I got t-shirts being made for the sisters for when we go on a trip. I'm planning a weekend trip for the sisters. You know, Rabbit said, let's leave on a Thursday instead of a Friday. We ain't talked to the rest of them yet. But we want to do something like that because we want to stay together and just talk about mama. So find things to do with your family and with each other, to cry together and also to laugh. Make a habit of laughing. You know, I watched Sharon and Frederick come together. Look, they got closer to me. Look, they got closer after Pat passed, and they just kind of looked like and held each other together. So you got to do that, whether you got 5 siblings or 1 sibling. Find a way to hold each other up and get that strength from each other and just get through it together. Because it's a forever walk now. It's nothing that's going to feel better down the road. It's the same.
That's right.
You know,
That's
it's
true.
too hard.
I told y'all she can talk like her mama. But before you get off, yeah, we're gonna do the sister trip, and I think after that we ought to plan one with us and Sharon and Jackie,
Yeah.
the first cousins, and just go
Well,
somewhere
Frederick
and
already
bond.
put that out there. Frederick had already said that Christmas when we were all in Merle's End. Frederick had already told me that. He mentioned that then about getting enough units for everybody, or either a house for everybody to come, and all of us, you know, put it out there for everybody to come and do a family, at least a
Yeah,
weekend, you know, something.
yeah, we have to do that. We're gonna have to make that happen this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sabrina's saying Sabrina, are you saying I talk like Helen,
Yes, you
child?
can go now. You give every bit of help. Mm-hmm.
But I gotta see if Rhonda is here. But thank you for coming on. I appreciate you.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for having me. Love you.
And love you too. We'll talk.
Okay.
All right. All right. Is Rhonda still here? She might have gotten off. I'm not sure. Um, Sabrina, you trying to say I can talk like my mom? Good. I don't know if Rhonda is still on here. She was my last guest, but she may be gone. I don't see her. Rhonda, are you here? Okay, there she is. There she is. She is coming in with me now. Hey, gorgeous. I had to make you laugh last because you know how we do. You know
Can
how
you
we
hear
do.
me?
That hair look. Yeah, your hair looks amazing.
God, please, it need to be
That's
retwisted.
gorgeous.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow, you just got it done. That looks good.
Huh?
It looks
Hello,
good.
everyone. Thank you, sis.
Yeah.
Good evening
So
to you all.
what it do? What it do? What it do?
Huh?
What it do? It's Mother's Day week is what I call it. And Rhonda's mother has been gone 12 years?
16.
16 years? Wow. Wow.
16. It's been a long 16 years. Yeah.
How
My
do you
mom
get
passed.
through? I know you and I talk all the time, and I know there are some breakdown moments. But oh wow, what do you do? How do you get through it?
I I have to remember who she was and the type of person she was. And when I want to just crawl up in the bed and just not and just completely get disassociate myself from society. You know, I can hear her say, all right, don't do, all right, Rhonda. I can hear that so clear. All right, Rhonda. Because she used to love to say that. All right, Rhonda. All right, Rhonda.
Right.
And it kind of shaped me out of it for the most part. But, I mean, losing my mom at 29, 30, I'm still an adult, but I'm still a baby. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Um,
Excuse me.
It was hard. It was traumatic, very traumatic. Um, very. It was mentally exhausting, physically exhausting, confusing. Just a lot of emotions that I didn't know how to deal with. I wasn't prepared to deal with it. I didn't want to deal with it. I relapsed in a lot of ways. Um, and you would have think that I would have had. I was listening to everybody talking, and I ain't one for attention, but I'm like, with me, I didn't have and I've told you that I didn't have an opportunity to prepare, or I didn't get any I didn't get any like last minute spend time. Like I'm taking care of my dad. So if God called him home, it's like I had almost 2 years taking care of him. I didn't have that. My mom was in perfectly good health. She was taking care of my grandma, and went home. Just left New Zion, went to Shallow, and went home. Just like that, and that was a hit for all of us. Not, I'm an only child. I don't have any biological siblings or anything like that. I have my mom raised cousins that are my brothers and sisters. I wouldn't look at them any other way,
Right.
but biologically, I'm an only child. So I didn't have anybody to share that similar pain with. There were a lot of people that were close to her that took it, but I'm the only one came from that vagina. Excuse me.
Keep
You know what I'm
talking,
saying?
sis. I
I'm the
can hear
only
you.
one.
Keep talking.
Okay.
I can hear you.
I'm the only one that came from her. So just trying to transition and what am I going to do next and what's the next step? You know, what's the plan? How am I going to maneuver through this? How I'm going to raise my kids without their grandma. And it was very difficult. I
Right.
mean, I don't know any other way to explain it. I mean, I felt like it was a lot of I dealt with it psychologically. You know, um, I didn't I couldn't mourn. I didn't mourn right away. It took me years to mourn my mama, and I think mourning is a part of healing. So I
Yeah.
didn't I didn't have time to mourn. I didn't have time. I had children I had to raise, and I had to get back in the groove of things and put my emotions to the side and put my feelings to the side and deal with my with my mental, knowing okay, I don't have my mama no more. Who I'm gonna call? You know,
Right. Right.
who when everything any documents that I ever filled out, I hate filling out paperwork. I hate filling out anything that I have to include an emergency contact. I hate it to this day. I hate it because my mom was my emergency contact for everything. When she
Right.
passed, I was like, now who am I gonna put down there now? But dealing with it 16 years, as everybody said, it's the same thing. You would think that it would have gotten easier. You would have think that it would have gotten where oh, I think of the good times. I dwell on the. I could close my eyes and I could see my mama smile just as bright as day.
Yeah.
I can hear her voice, and I think Miss Mel was the first person that had a recording of her voice, and
Hmm.
that was like, oh, that was maybe 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
She
I
had a
remember that.
CD,
Hmm.
and she said, "I got something for you," and she made me a copy. She made me a copy, and when I listened to that thing, I boo hoo cried. I get teary. I ain't no crybaby, but I cry because it's like I yearn to hear her voice for so, and not just in my mental. I wanted to hear my mama's voice,
Yeah.
and it was, excuse me, but
No apologies, baby.
it was refreshing, and even to this day, um,
I get it. I understand. No apologies, baby. That's what tonight is all about. That's what we're here for. No apologies whatsoever. Y'all
you would
forgive me,
think
my
after,
allergies acting up. So forgive me with the coughing. But it's my allergies giving me a fit right now. Go ahead, Rhonda.
you would think after 16 years of her passing, you would get beyond the tears, you would get beyond the sadness of it, but
You don't.
you don't. And I will tell anybody, everybody does it differently. But like I said, I didn't. When I have my moments, I just shut myself off and I cry, I do what I pray, I do whatever I need. When I get back out, I'm back on my game. But I've had moments when I'm paralyzed. I'm paralyzed because me and my mama didn't have a strange relationship.
Right, right.
We were
Keep talking. I
actually
can hear you.
close. We were actually close.
Finish.
And losing her was
I wish I was there to just hold you, just hug you. I wish I was with you just to hug you. I know, sis, I know the
it was
feeling.
traumatic, and I think it's gotten. I think feelings are resurfaced because now I take care of my daddy, and I don't have a lot of uh, venting, and I didn't. I know I'm the only one probably got in here and had this breakdown, but I'm sorry. And
You don't have to apologize, sis. You really don't have to apologize. You There's no need to apologize. Tonight, this is what this is about. This is about us talking about how we get through this thing and loving up on each other and encouraging each other. Because see, I know what you're going through with losing your mother and now taking care of your father. So I get it. But trust me, you owe us no apologies. You deal with this thing in the way that Rhonda has to deal with it. That's it. You're about to make me cry too, and I'm trying hard not to. But listen, sometimes you gotta release that thing. And sis, I
I
know you. You are so strong, and you don't stop. You keep going. I told you, and I've told several other people. I remember what 6 years ago you going through a situation, and you never quit, complained, nothing. You pushed through that thing. And I would sit there looking at you like, God, how is she doing this? You owe yourself this good cry, sis. You owe yourself this cry. I mean, I've seen what you're going through in this last couple of months alone with your dad. This was bound to happen. This was coming. I saw this coming. This was coming. You owe yourself this. You got to release it.
but I encourage Anybody that has a living mother, I often tell them, I'm like, you're lucky. You're blessed. I love the way my children love me. I think that it keep me above. They don't know the type of motivation they are, especially at this time in my life. I don't know what I do sometimes. They are a major, major motivation for me. Each one, I'm grateful that each one of them had an opportunity to experience my mama. Um, Even down to Graceland, you would think that she was here. You would think that Graceland met my mama herself in the physical. You would think so, because she talks about her as if she knew her, and I said that it has a lot to do with us and the way we
Yeah.
speak of her. We don't speak of her so much as in the past tense. Even down to Marley. Marley's my grandchild,
Yeah.
and she said, Grandma, is that how Grandma Legape would do it? She said it like, girl, how you know my mama name? And it wasn't funny, but it was like, Ma, if you was here,
Yeah.
oh God, these kids they don't understand. They have no idea the jewel that they missed,
Yeah.
And I ain't saying that because she was my mama, but she was special. She was special.
Yeah. She
She
was.
was, she was different, and all people often say, "Oh, and it's hard trying to. I don't try to live in her life because she can't be duplicated. That's impossible.
Yeah.
It's impossible. I don't try. I just try, like everyone that says, I try to. It's some things in life that I could have done better decisions, but for the most part, I think she would be proud of my refusal to quit.
Yes.
I can't stop. And I often hear, your mom used to run like that, and you better slow down, slow down, blah, blah, blah. I said, yeah, but if I slow down, a lot of stuff ain't going to get done. As much as I think I'm not doing, let me stop. As much as she
Yeah.
thought she wasn't doing. When she stopped, when God stopped her, we all felt it.
Yeah.
We all felt that mountain fall. We felt it. The 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 ramifications of her leaving affected us all tremendously. I comfort folks about her, and I'm looking like, that's my mama. Why are you carrying on like that? But I understand,
Yeah.
because she made that much of an impact, not just to me. I think God designed her just the way that she was, and it was her job to cause that kind of impact
Yeah.
in thousands of people's lives that I haven't even met yet.
That's right.
School from, and a lot of people know her from singing. My mom was an educator. My mom was an educator for 30 years plus, and God and children were her life. I tell you, she gave birth to one, but she raised 100 more.
Yeah.
It's crazy, and I think I told the story before. When it came down to her, I was young, and I wanted my mom and myself. I was honest. I ain't got to share her if I ain't want to. That was me, but that's not who she was. And as I grew older, I understood. That's just the way my mama is, child. Hey, okay, just come to the house. My mama let you stay. you know,
Yeah.
she was just that type of person. To a stray dog, she gonna feed him. Stray cat, throw that food out there for that cat. Mom, don't you know when you feed cats, they come around? That's all right. They got to eat too. That's she was that kind of person. It was just she was amazing, and I
Yeah.
miss her. I'm thankful for every teachings, everything she taught me. I tell my first gods were my mama and my grandma. They were my gods before I knew God for myself. They were my gods. My grandma taught me a lot. There were no men wasn't the driving force in our family. The women were.
Right. Right.
The women are. They were the driving force. So I remember my mama being self motivated and always doing something. My grandma was an early entrepreneur, all a hustler. You needed it, she got it. If I had paid attention, my credit I wouldn't be trying to build credit. I would have good credit. Because my grandma
Right.
had superb credit till she left here and tried to teach us how to keep it, baby. Her words were keep your face clean. She said, I can go anywhere around here because my sense, my dollar makes sense. And she, sense
I
in
like that.
S-E-N-S-E. My dollar makes sense. And I'm like, what do you mean? She said, because my dollar makes sense. My face is clean when I go places. So it's having a good mama is a jewel. It's
Yes.
a very enriched thing.
Yes, it is.
Having a good, I tell my daughter all the time, be good to your daughters. Be good to your children. I was taught you be good to your children, they're gonna be good to you. They're
Mm-hmm.
gonna be good to you. Yeah. And I remember a lot of the teaching, like, holidays have never been the same. I don't care about gathering. And that's just me. I don't, I keep it small and carry the force our way through. But we share that now because shortly after my mama transitioned, my grandma did. So, but you look at they're older. I was younger, but if I'm thankful for the closeness that I can pick off my aunts because technically they had more time with my mama than I did. So
Right.
it's a lot of stuff that I'm finding now to grab hold to kind of keep my mind when I'm having those breakdown moments. I break down, wash my face, I'm back in the game. And
Right.
and that's how I've been for the last 16 years. For the last 16 years, that's what I've done.
Right.
So so for anyone that, if you, like I said, if you have your mama, cherish her, appreciate her. If there's any type of division between your mama, work that out. Make peace with your mama. Mothers are not perfect. No mother
That's
is
right.
perfect. Some have great moms, some have good moms, and some have moms that have had some bad experiences that may seem to the child as if you don't know your mother's story. So sometimes it's good
Yeah.
to sit down and be like, Mom, like what happened? Like why you did make amends. Because I
Yeah.
can assure you, when God called them home, you're gonna feel it and you're gonna have regrets. As I wish I would have, could have, should have, but it's gonna be too late. I'll tell them quick. The only thing I regret, the night my mama transitioned, I was coming from church. My boys wanted to stop, talk to her. They saw a van at my grandma's house, my aunt's house. And I was like, no, we going home because y'all got school in the morning and y'all ain't gonna want to get up. That was my reason. That was my reason. And I didn't stop. I went straight home. Got them in the bed, got them washed up, got in the bed. And I was in the kitchen baking a cake, something I do not do. 11, 12 o'clock at night, I'm up baking a cake, which was very odd. You didn't put two and two together. And I got that phone call. Ashley called me in hysterics, screaming, and I'll never forget that night. But that's when it all started. And as that songwriter said, it just went down like a spiral. And it took me a long time. It's like I'm just now getting myself together, getting my mind like really back on track to focus on the important part, on the
Right.
important thing, and living a life that I know what the scripture says, the dead has no remembrance, but I choose to believe that one day I'll see her face. Jesus' face will be the first face I want to see, and then my mama. Then I know I'm good. So you know, Mother's Day is always. I don't visit the gravesite. I hear a lot of people say, go visit the gravesite. You'll feel like I don't do that. I don't do the traditional go take flowers. I don't, and that's just me. I feel like it hurts me more to do that. I don't want to visit that site. I always have a just a bad day. It never makes me feel better, you know. So I just rather remember her the way I knew her and
Yeah.
just live. Just, you know, try to not to be her replica, but be as close of an example that I was given. And I had a good
Yeah.
example. I had a good mama
Yeah.
that taught me well, taught me right from wrong, and you know,
We had
was a
amazing
was an
example of
outstanding person.
women.
Yeah,
Yeah, we had, and you and I talk about this all the time. We had amazing example. We had the best. And I'm gonna say this because that was my mama. I think I had the best that God had to offer
right.
in a mother. You know what I mean? Because you and I talk all the time, and we had amazing mothers. If God had allowed me to choose my own mother, I couldn't have chosen a better woman than Helen Goodman.
I
You
agree.
know, my mother was a mother first. She loved, oh my gosh, she loved the Lord. She was a businesswoman. I watched that woman build that business from our living room. And she just amazed me that she had that in her. That was my, 'cause that was mama. You know what I mean?
Right.
But my mama was this awesome, awesome businesswoman. You know what I mean? And she used to just fascinate me.
Mhm.
Just watching her as a young woman, and watching her on the choir singing, and she just fascinated me. You know, she was the bomb.com to me. She was just all that.
They were fascinating
You
people.
know, yeah, yeah, and I
Fascinating
tell you all the
people.
time, your mama and your grandmama could sing anything for me. All we knew them by was Blind Lady and her daughter.
Hmm.
They coming to the anniversary Sunday. Oh, we gonna be there. You know what I mean? Because they just come and shut the whole house down. You
Right.
know, but they were amazing people.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, I stand on the shoulders of some powerful,
Very powerful.
powerful black women.
Yes.
Powerful
Yeah.
black women.
And they're not. I don't have to look on TV to admire nobody. I can
Girl,
just sit down and
what?
start right. You know, I had some very admirable women to come in my life.
Yeah,
Very, very with integrity. My grandma taught me integrity. You know, she was
yeah,
very misunderstood, prejudged, but she was about her business. And Christine Montgomery didn't play with you.
that's right.
Before if she was, she said, "I can't help you. I ain't gonna hurt you. I ain't gonna waste my energy trying to hurt you." So it's in little parables that my grandma would say when I was young. Girl, I found myself repeating those same things. I
Hmm.
had this young girl that used to deal with me all the time. We still talk. And when she used to stay with me, I would always say, "Yeah, my grandma would say, my grandma would say, blah 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 blah," or my mom would say, something with between them two, and she said, "Well, dog, your grandma can tell you everything." I said, "Girl, let me tell you something. It's a you used to say a TV commercial when E.F. Hutton talk, people listen, but
Hmm.
when Christine talked, her words were like nuggets. They were golden, and I was right
Yeah,
up under her, eating them. I
yeah,
took in it. And even I'm older, got my own grandchildren now. God bless me to see my own offsprings have their children. I feel blessed. And sometimes I won't say fear, but I don't know. Nobody knows the future. Only God has the future. He only knows. And sometimes I just feel like there's a spurt in my life where it looked like I got in a hurry. It's like
yeah,
I gotta get this done. I gotta get this done. I gotta get this done. And I recall my mama being the same way. And at the tender age of 52, she was gone. You know, sometimes, I ain't speaking that life and death lies in the power of the tongue, and I don't know the plans of God for my life, but I hope that He allows me to live to see all of my children, Grayson, become a grown woman,
Yeah.
and see her mature into her adulthood. I wanna see that,
Yeah.
and or to the point where she can take care of herself. My mama had and I'm telling I've told you this, but just to tell the people, my mother had a outpatient surgery in February of 2005, and after the outpatient was over with, she was still under anesthesia, and they was trying to wait for it to wear off and all that other good stuff. And so we were just sitting there, and I was sitting there watching her, just had my eyes really locked on, because she was laying back with her hand on her chest. You see your parent laying there, the first thing you like, Lord, she looked like she did. So just
Yeah.
crazy thought. So I just kind of I was like, just kind of shaking my head when I did it. She opened my eyes and looked dead at me, turned her head. She said, "What would you do if I died?" I was like, "Ma, don't start that. Don't do that. Don't start all that talking about no death and all that kind of crazy stuff." She said, "No, for real. What would you do? What would you do?" And I was just like, I don't know. I don't know. I hope that I have God like I say I do, like I believe I do. I said, other than that, Mama, nut up. I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose my mind. Like, she said, "Nah, you'll be fine." She said, you'll be just fine. And it was a month, maybe a month later, God called her, and could have been my warning. Could have given me heads up. Of course, I wouldn't have seen it like that, because it wasn't the first time that she ever just sporadically stopped talking about death. She wasn't infatuated with death, but she knew that was a reality.
Yeah.
And later on, it just came back to me as far as me feeling like, for her to say, "You'll be fine. You'll be just fine." I felt like that was saying, like, okay, girl, listen, what you need is already in you.
Right.
You're gonna do what you one thing for sure, you're gonna do what you gotta do. Take care of your kids. And it was not easy. I had more adversity, I had more obstacles, I had more switch outs, I had more rejections, I had more betrayals, I had all these things. And I still had to fight through that, not even knowing how. Just It's like having to fight to deal with stuff and not knowing how, but you're dealing with it. And when you sit back and you be looking like, how in the world? And all you can do is shake your head and take a deep breath and say, God, thank you. That I didn't go crazy. I didn't lose my mind as I thought I would have. I tell them, I'm 85%, well, 90% in 10% local, but I got the majority in. I got the majority. I ain't completely crazy,
You
a little
kill
bit
my
of here and there,
nerve.
but a little hit and miss. But other than that, I thank God for just having a mother I've God allowed me to have to pour into me what she poured into me, and I live. I have my
Yeah.
moments. I cry. I get over it, and I keep moving. I don't have time to stop, and ain't nothing changed about that. The energy is still the same, And I just hope to be as good to my children as my mother was to me, or allow me to leave that kind of memory with them. And I think I posted something a few weeks ago about my grandchildren loving me the way my kids love my mama. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I didn't mean nothing. When Lagetha came on the picture, I was dead. I didn't matter them turn. Grandma, grandma. K. Rondra and Cora would run, physically get up and run behind her car as if I was killing them. Like, y'all making these people think I'm abusing y'all. They would literally run behind her car. I'm like, what's wrong with y'all?
You
How
just look like you.
y'all?
You just look like you was just so painful.
Yeah, listen, that thing used to hurt my feelings. And then she didn't make it no better. Y'all, come on, come on. I'm like, Mom, you ain't got to take the kids. I'm taking them because they're running behind me for something. Like, why you doing this? Like, what's up? I wasn't that parent. I wasn't trying to be free. You know, you
Oh
had
my
some
God.
mothers that they be trying to get at your. I wasn't that mother. They were my kids.
That's
You
funny.
know, but I thank God because even though my mama helped me raise my oldest two, but when God called her home, I was still in control. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
she was a disciplinary, but my mama would talk more than she would. If she had to beat you, believe me, you don't took her way over. But for the most part, she would be like, all right, I'm gonna call your mama. All right, grandma, we straighten up. Cause she all know I wasn't finna play the radio. But I'm thankful for what she poured into them. I'm thankful for the love the overwhelming love that they still hold on. And they were young. They were young. I think Malik and Rajit was like 4 or 5. And they got they memory of my mama. And I am grateful for that. I'm
Yeah.
so grateful for that. So I thank God that He allowed me to experience what it is to have grandchildren, that I can pour that love into them so they'll remember me.
Absolutely.
They'll remember me.
Isn't
So
that that's an amazing feeling though,
yeah.
because my youngest granddaughter Nala is 3, and I kid you not, Rhonda, this child walks around this house talking to her granddaddy and her grandmama as if she knew. Well, she remembers daddy,
She remember Mr.
but
Robert.
mommy, yeah, she remembers daddy. She'll tell you in a minute. She's sitting in there and she's talking to her granddaddy. You know, and she's well, Nana, granddaddy said this,
Wow.
and is my and Nana, my granddaddy is asleep. You know, he's sleeping. She don't say he's dead. She says he's sleeping. But
Wow.
she talks about mommy too, like she has met mommy. And mama was gone 2 years before she came. But she, you know, she's my grandma said, and Nana, you look like my grandma. You look like my grandma. And I'm sitting here looking at her and I'm like, wow, that's amazing.
Right.
That she, you know, she just talks about them in the now. She don't talk
Even
about
now.
them like
Right.
yesterday. She talks about them in the now.
Right.
And she literally has conversations with them.
Right.
So KK was like, Mommy, do you think she really sees them? I said, I believe she does.
I believe
I
so. In
truly
some
believe
form.
she does. Yeah, because some of the things that she says, Rhonda, is mind blowing. And I'm like, she got to be getting that from somewhere. You know what I mean? And we didn't tell her anything about granddaddy being passed away or anything. We just said granddaddy, you know, granddaddy is gone. And she came up with this thing, granddaddy is asleep. He's asleep. You know, and I'm like, wow, this is amazing. You know, so she walks through the house all the time talking about her granddaddy and her grandmama, and she talks to them.
That's a
So
blessing.
when I talk about mama and daddy, which I talk about them almost every day, and I do that, and KK talks about them all the time. But we talk about them as if they're here, like having like the conversation that will be going on right now. You know what I mean? So it's quite fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite fascinating.
So all the mothers, my phone on 3%. My
Yeah,
charger, for some reason, I waste some lemonade on my charger. It's not cooperating. So I'm gonna have to drop it in some rice.
yeah.
Um, but to all the mothers, happy Mother's Day to all of you, mothers to be, mothers that are struggling, wherever you are, wherever your location, whatever you're doing at this very present time. I pray that God gives you a peace. For the mothers, for those of us that do not have our mothers with us present in the physical. You know, I pray that God gives us continuously peace, a peace that surpasses all understanding, that gives us, that sense of pride, to be proud of the mothers that we had, and that we can be as great as they were.
That's right.
Those good memories, those good examples, those good stories that we can pass on, and it can be a traditional thing. Like y'all family coming together for Christmas or holidays or whatever. That's awesome. You know,
That's another story. That's another conversation. She might have she froze up. So I think her phone is cutting off. I think her charger is the phone is dying, guys. Um, but I hope we encouraged somebody tonight by sitting here and just talking through this thing and how we get through this time of year. Olivia Burgess, I am praying for you too, darling. Um, that this time of the year. So I hope we encourage somebody. I hope we help somebody just by coming on tonight and loving up on each other, talking through this thing. Talking helps. Talking brings healing. And I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me um, tonight. It's been an amazing thing for me. I needed tonight for me. And I thank God for it. I thank God for you guys hanging on for this. We've been on for a while now. So I thank y'all for hanging on with me. And I will see you all on next Tuesday night, same time at 7 p.m. You all have a happy, happy weekend. To all my ladies, happy, happy Mother's Day. Try your best to enjoy it. You all